What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 8 of the Film Room. I'm here with, of course, Josh, making his podcast debut. We have Abner and Dewey. Guys, how are we doing today?
Doing amazing. I'm great.
Doing
Good,
good,
good.
doing good.
All right, so today we got a few topics to talk about. Of course, the big film from Michael Jackson came out. We're gonna do a little our thoughts on that. We have a Clayface reaction. That's DC's first body horror film, and that's definitely gonna be a horror film. And our top 5 movies for the summer, followed by our hashtag now watching segment. So to not waste any time, let's go on to Michael Jackson, a movie that I saw on Wednesday. I'm seeing it again this weekend. And Josh, one second, actually, bring this up. Give us your thoughts on Michael Jackson, and if you think it's worth seeing again.
So, yeah, I am not the musical biopic kind of guy. I've not seen like Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, Elvis. They just never interested me, but this one did. And I went in. I don't know. I wasn't expecting much, I would say. And here's my quick review of the movie. It's a great crowd pleaser. It's just not a great critic pleaser. And I can expand on that if you need me to.
Yeah, if you can, go for
it. Okay. So going in, I thought all you really need to do is hit on the music. Get the iconic songs in there. I thought the guy that played Michael Jackson, which is it Jafar Jackson, his nephew?
Yeah.
I thought he did a really good job. This movie has a really interesting, like, behind the scenes kind of drama to it, where like the whole third act was like reshot. I'm not, if you even know about what the original third act was supposed to be, I'm not even sure how that was going to organically fit into this movie. But I thought the stuff with him and the dad kind of was the movie. Like, that seemed like that was everything that was going on. And they gave us that nice Avengers tease at the end where Michael may return.
Yes,
sure. I would go see Michael 2, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Ha. All right, Dewey, how about you?
For one, I've said it before, it was sensational. All right. As a Michael fan, as a huge Michael fan, it was what I expected in a biopic. Now, well, before I get into anything else, Jafar did an outstanding job. He brought Michael, basically resurrected him back to life. Um, the performances was outstanding, the moves were outstanding, spot on. The key to detail, especially like the Thriller video, that really gave me a lot of chills. Um, Obviously, we know about the Jackson 5, and that was a good little, what I can say, about like 15 minutes of their span, and then moving straight into Michael's story. Now, the critics, all right, this biopic, right? This biopic isn't for controversy. This biopic is just to show everybody Michael, the evolution of Michael, right?
Mhm.
Now there has to be a little bit of conflict in it, especially with his father and what transpired, and we need to know exactly why Michael became who he is because of obviously his father. His childhood was taken away because of fame, pursuing fame, and you do have to sacrifice a lot if you want to achieve those goals. Um, everybody wants the scandals, right? Everybody wants to be messy, and that can stray away from the purpose of the film. The purpose of the film is to bring light to Michael's story, is to show, yes, everybody has controversy in their lives, but Michael is the king of pop, and we're seeing the
Mhm.
reason why he's the king of pop and what he had to go through to reach that level. Now, um, the second movie that hopefully is gonna come out, that is when actually the controversy starts happening, uh, that we all know about.
Mhm.
And I simply don't want them to fully highlight that. Mind you, this production is kind of ran by the family, so I don't think the family wants to relive that dark era. Um, it may be it may be added in, or it may not be. I appreciate them not going in that direction because it's taken away from the movie and just highlighting the dark era of his life. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
So, all in all, sensational movie, best biopic I ever seen in my life. I was really big on Bohemian Rhapsody. I love Queen, and this topped it by, I don't know, 50%. Um,
damn.
not a big Rocket Man fan. Not a big Elvis fan at all. Uh, Even though Lionsgate didn't do this movie, the Bob Marley movie, it didn't even hit for me as a Jamaican. It didn't hit for me as much as this movie. So I will be seeing it again. And yeah, that's my take on it.
Abner.
Okay, so I'm a huge MJ fan. I grew up watching MJ, one of my favorite artists. With everything that comes with MJ, I'm obsessed with it. I've already seen the movie twice, so I could give the first kind of review and then the second, like what my opinion of it was the second time around. When it comes to the movie itself, it's a good movie. If you're a Michael Jackson fan, I don't think you're learning anything necessarily new. Like you already kind of knew everything that was in the movie. And I think the movie is more tailored toward new fans, like toward the new generation that's coming up, where it's like, oh, like this is a recap of what Michael Jackson was. Um, his highlights, I felt like a highlight tape kind of thing. When it comes to the performances, Jafar absolutely killed it. Like he embodied his uncle completely, 100%. Matter of fact, there was some times when I would look at the film, like I was looking at the screen, and depending on the camera angle, I'm like, yo, that's MJ. Like that's
Mhm.
literally him. So in terms of his performance, amazing performance. The editing of the film, I also really liked it. I think it's one of his biggest strengths. The way that that it crescendos into, the bad era at the end. And I think it also does a good job of humanizing Michael. Towards his later years, he was involved in a lot of controversy, and the news was not kind to him. Newsreels were not kind to him. They called him all kinds of stuff, wacko jacko, a bunch of things. Um, and I think the movie helps to humanize him and to see him as a human that was going through a lot of stuff. When it comes to the controversies, like Dewey said, that should be highlighted in part two. I'm gonna disagree with. I think it should be highlighted because you can't do a Michael Jackson full story
Right.
without all of those allegations and everything that was going
I
on.
I think they can only do so much though, from my understanding, because of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
families.
because of the contracts that they signed and all that. That was actually one of the things that apparently they removed from this movie. Um, for me, to keep it like to about this movie that we just saw, for me it kind of felt like rushed through. I feel like Michael has so many moments that you could only obviously highlight, and I feel like we just got like a highlight tape of what it like who Michael was. I mean, it just felt like a recreation of the music videos at some points instead of more like an in-depth story about how he got to those music videos. Like how was Thriller made? I mean, you can't just have a 2-minute recreation of Thriller without acknowledging why Thriller was made. Like, and I think that's, to me, that's what makes Bohemian Rhapsody a better movie in terms of that, because we actually see how Bohemian Rhapsody was made, how that album was made, like the backstory of they were creating the songs, they went out to the ranch, they tested the sounds. We didn't really see any of that in this movie. It was more sort of like, yeah, I'm Michael Jackson, I'm the king of pop, and I own this. It wasn't sort of like the behind the scenes, which is kind of what I wanted to see as a Michael Jackson fan. But in terms of general audience, I think they loved it. Obviously, I loved it too. I'm going to see it a third time because I'm an MJ fan. But yeah, it's more towards general audiences. Overall, a good movie.
So just to before we move on, just to take what Abner has said, um, I feel you on the how Thriller was made. I understand that. Like we didn't even see we didn't see a lot when it comes to Thriller, right? We didn't see Vincent Price, at least, maybe he was around at that time. We don't really know. That was what, in the 80s? Probably none of us was born. Um, but I think the Beat It was very crucial because of the time that it was in, and it explained to you how Beat It, what's the purpose for Beat It. A lot of people don't know what the purpose for Beat It is, right? And it's basically to unite Bloods and Crips from, going against each other to, we're all human. We all need to, stop this violence. It's ridiculous. That's the main purpose for Beat It. Even Billie Jean, I can piggyback off you saying I wish they would have been went more in depth about Billie Jean, because without Billie Jean we get no moonwalk, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get no moonwalk at all. So I'd rather them the thriller was kind of, it was okay for me because there wasn't too much else you needed to really go in depth when it comes to the music video of Thriller. I wanted more in depth of the Billie Jean. We got the in depth of Beat It, right? But I want the more in depth of Billie Jean and what's the purpose of the song Billie Jean. Um, Another thing is we didn't get to see Human Nature in the studio, but we got that nice concert vibe, like we was really there, you know. It got to the point where when the fans in the movie were singing uh Human Nature, it felt like I was actually there. And I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us were singing along. But little things like that, it's what makes the film. It's just what makes the film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to go in depth, but it's a 2-hour movie. Like, we can't really do too much under contract. Um, it just felt like, I mean, at the end of the day, it felt like we were there at those concerts.
Right.
And that's what made Michael Michael, bro. Like, when he hit the stage, man, you got people passing out, you got people crying from all genders. That's the feel that we needed.
I
Going
think
into this next one, maybe we get the
Mm-hmm.
controversy, but there's multiple controversies and there's multiple things that, from having the ownership of the Beatles to to his ownerships of his own music, to obviously the Neverland situation. Um, I don't want the second movie to be highlighted specifically of that, because we still have to do the bad, right? We didn't even get Dirty Diana. All we did was get bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have so many other songs. You Rock My World, um, so
Man
many
in the Mirror.
songs that Man in the Mirror,
Yeah.
and it goes on. Like, let's get the rest of that.
if
You,
I
you
was to
know,
gu- if I was to guess on how they're gonna approach that, they're gonna approach it as, through all of this adversity, he was still able to be successful.
Rise Up, right,
That
right, right,
tour
right.
and do the history tour, like all of that. That's how I think they're gonna approach it. Like, just like, well, I don't know if you saw the Elvis movie, they dealt with his controversies. They didn't shy away from it. Like, they put that there, but it was the same kind of angle where it was like, oh, he was still, successful. Like, he was still, Elvis Presley through all of this. So I think that's what they're gonna go through with the second movie.
They just didn't highlight one thing in the Elvis movie, and that's what got me, because this is the reason why Elvis. Other than his music, Elvis is for me, he's known for dating a younger
Mm.
woman. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And they
they're
did
not gonna
not
highlight that.
highlight that. That's where I don't want this to get like, oh, we're gonna highlight Michael Jackson's darkest times, but you don't even highlight that about Elvis. You get what I
Mm.
mean? So
Uh,
don't let's not play that type of game, you know?
to to Michael Jackson's story, though, I think there is something because he was acquitted of all of those charges, like in court. So there could be a scene in there where they may play it and they may show some type of thing where it's like, oh, like, even despite through all of this, he's not guilty.
Hmm.
All
But
right,
that
guys.
also depends on the approval of all those cases.
So
Right.
we do gotta move on. But before we do, let me give you my take of the movie real quick because I didn't have a chance yet. But so I am not the biggest fan of biopics, right? Um, but because I grew up listening to all the songs in my household, in the car, wherever, to hear his music being played in that theater, I felt like I was being at a live concert. And there are times where I couldn't even tell if the crowd was either in my theater or in the movie. Like this was the first. I never had an experience where I'm actually watching a movie and the crowd was so into a movie because normally, everyone's quiet, they're clapping, cheering, crying. There are sound effects, but this is the first film where it feels like I've been to a concert, but not actually being in the concert. People are recording with their own phones on the screen. I see chairs moving around back and forth. I see people dancing around. I've never had an experience like this ever in my life, and again, the fact that there are times in this movie where I'm watching Michael Jackson, but knowing it's his nephew, Jafar Jackson, playing him, he did that. He did so good playing his uncle that again, I feel like I'm watching Michael Jackson and not Jafar Jackson. He nailed the moves, the fashion, the swagger, the charisma, the voice. Obviously, I know that it was a mixture of his own voice with Michael Jackson's voice at times, or most of the time. But again, just to see him portray his uncle in this way, Jafar really did impress me more than I expected. And again, I do expect obviously in part two to go over like more of the darker sides of his life because this one was only like the ups and it was mostly the joyful parts of his life. And I gotta do one shout out to Coleman Domingo. Exceptional job as a father.
Yeah,
Incredible job.
The little kid too.
Yes, him too. I forgot his name, but he's mini Michael Jackson for real. He has the moves and the charisma himself. Even watching interviews with especially on the Hudson show, Jennifer Hudson, he did it. He's an incredible actor. He had a really bright future. And again, this is a movie I'm going to see again this weekend, maybe tomorrow. But I have to go in just for pure entertainment. I can't really. The first time I saw it was Wednesday. I just want to see what they would show. But now knowing what's in the movie, I can finally go in just to be fully entertained with the music. And I gotta say, the final shot of the movie has to be a framed poster. That's all I'm gonna say for that. With the hand over his face, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like you guys said, I'm looking forward to seeing how they begin and end with part two. And looking forward to, and then I want to see how they're going to show that part of his life on the big screen. Like if they're going to be going too far or showing this the right amount of stuff. Like, I want to see if this is done right. And maybe the part two is called Jackson. What's up?
Can I say real quick? We'll probably get Michael too or Jackson because Variety just announced that it made $39.5 million opening day. It's the
opening
set
day.
to break the opening day.
Yeah.
Set to break the record for biggest opening weekend for a musical biopic.
And it's projected to make 100 million globally by the end of Sunday. So
there you go. I mean,
hey, shout out to Nia Long. She bodied Michael's mom. Don't forget about that.
Yes, and I do have to say though, my personal thoughts on something else in the movie. Great portrayal of the Jackson 5 family. Great job with everyone. My only take is that I did give it 5 stars, but I feel like whenever I show the family, it kind of dragged the movie because I'm not sure like if I came in expecting to hear all the great music, Billie Jean, Bad, Beat It, Thriller. Like I did go inside waiting for that to come up. Maybe that's why to me, watching the family themselves kind of like felt like the movie was going slower than the other moments. But that's my only negative take. I hope that we get more music that like I said, Manamir, etc. That's I'm sure would be in part 2. But to
we
me,
missed out on one thing though. But go ahead.
What's up?
We missed out. We didn't get Michael and Paul. We didn't get that, bro.
You're right.
I get that in the second movie. I saw a rumor that they had cast somebody as Paul McCartney. I'm not sure if the rumor was true.
Really?
But, how would you put that if that's on the Off the Wall album?
They're
you know
going
what
back.
I mean? Like
they're going back. I don't know. And we also didn't get We Are the World, which was huge.
we didn't get the We Are the World because
Not
I would
yet.
love to have everybody in the studio to see that. Like that would have been tight. Yeah.
And to see some of the music behind the scenes of how it was made. I mean, I guess Thriller, it showed some things for that. Same for Beat It. But we didn't. I don't think we saw behind the scenes of the making of Billie Jean, like how that song came to be, or how like if the moonwalk was off the cuff or it was planned. That part I'm curious about too.
Mm-hmm.
But again, hearing the music in the theater in IMAX, I gotta say Dolby Cinema, hearing the music got no one's chair was staying still. Everyone was dancing. I've never
I got
seen
goosebumps right now.
right exactly. I've never seen. I have videos on my phone recording the music. I even recorded scenes in the movie, and I never use my phone ever in movies. This is the first time I recorded footage, and it was so worth it. But guys, anyways,
Jeremy,
what's up?
before we move, I want to point out one thing that I loved about this film
Yeah.
was the little details about his life.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're a huge MJ fan, you would recognize like the Peter Pan like affection
Yeah.
that like the fans fainting in the concerts, his struggle with vitiligo, the Pepsi burning accident. Like those are the little details.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a future tease where the pain medicine struggle that he had with like pain medicine and all of that. I think that might be where they're going to the second movie because they showed it a lot in this film.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't want to get addicted to it. Like I don't want to take it. He even mentioned it. And they showed like very specific visuals of the pain medicine like dripping. So if I'm correct on that, it might be that they're going that direction in the second movie. But overall, it was a great movie. So.
Well, I hope part 2 is as good as part 1, even though we know it can get darker. I just hope that they're all playing it safe with that, even though it's his life.
Hey, we're getting Smooth Criminal in the second part. So.
Oh, we better. The lean and everything. I want to see how they make that happen. But anyways, guys, that's been our take on Michael movie. Comment down below if you think otherwise, or if you agree with us. Let us know. It's playing now in theaters. Moving on to our next topic, guys. It's a trailer that me and Josh saw at CinemaCon before we went out to the public. One of many previews that we saw. Sorry, Abner. By the way, Abner, great timing on not being here. We spoke of Doomsday for a quick second. Anyways,
perfect.
Yeah, DC released the news trailer for their first ever body horror film called Clayface. And this, yes, Dewey, we know. I don't think your face looks normal still. But Clayface is DC's first ever rated R body horror film. And I personally, you guys already know how much I hate horror films only because of the jump scares. But this is a film that, if it's a DC movie or a Marvel movie and it's a horror film, I have to force myself to watch it, any movie, any genre. But Josh, we'll go with you first. Having seen the Clayface trailer or teaser, what are your thoughts on the movie? Or the trailer?
So, as someone who's, not the biggest DC fan, I mean, I love Batman. Batman's great. But when it comes to like maybe some of the smaller characters, I mean, I remember hearing about this movie and I just brushed it off. I was like, what is this? And I could care less. But when they showed us the trailer at CinemaCon, I was like, okay, actually, I can get into this. As somebody that's the complete opposite of Jeremy and loves horror and loves jump scares, I would go see it just for that. I would be more interested in the horror elements rather than how this maybe ties in to the overall. I mean, is this supposed to like tie into, is this like James Gunn's universe? Is this part of all that? I guess I'm still a little unsure of that, but I really dig the trailer and the kind of obscure horror that was going on in there. And you can even see on screen like what he looks like. It very much looks like me on a bad day.
You doing?
All right. So we finally have a rated R DC movie. About time, right? Because for all my comic book fans out there, we know that DC is not Marvel. It's not this childish, giddy up, nice, vibrant colors. No, it's super dark. It's super dark. The Clayface trailer was outstanding. And the reason why I say that is because I've watched Batman the animated series. And watching this trailer is a complete mimic of Batman the animated series. And that is the route that they're trying to go when it comes to Batman itself. Now, I think it's already reported that Patterson isn't our Batman. I think they're still looking for a Batman for this situation right here.
Yeah.
So this is a really good start. It like I said, it's Batman animated series from start to finish. From him being, I don't know if they're gonna make him a struggling actor, but from the trailer, it looks like he's actually a decent star actor. Um, Usually in this Batman series, he was a struggling actor trying to find his way through his acting career, end up doing business with a company, and they started experimenting on him. I guess they beat him up and started doing experiments on him. His face started turning to clay. He had to use this special cream so his face doesn't basically melt, and cream goes wrong, or I think it not goes wrong, but I think he runs out of cream, and they end up injecting it into his actual bloodstream. So with the trailer, I'm hoping that this is the route they're gonna take. Every little thing is it's mimicking the animated series, from even when you see the shadow of the claw.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I love that it's going to be a body horror. Usually I'm a horror fan as well, so I'm with Josh. I'm a horror fan. Love the jump scares and everything, love gore, love all that. But I don't think it's going to be anywhere in that realm. I just think it's going to be more of, like we said, body horror, more like melting face. We're gonna see his face get cut up. Um, yeah, but other than that, I don't think it's gonna be
Although,
jump scares or anything like that. So I'm
like,
I'm looking forward to this.
so I do gotta say before Abner's turn that yes, I did clarify that I hate horror films or jump scares, but I think you're right that this movie should not have jump scares, or if any, maybe two or three. But it is mostly a body horror film, which I don't mind. I've seen movies before that have goriness and body horror shit like that. I've seen movies like that, and I
Hmm.
don't mind that. I'm a big fan of that. Like the
Every
boys, like I watched the boys too. That has similar stuff, and just the way the movie was marketed in this trailer, that shows some jump scares itself, and that's why I feel like it could be false advertising for the movie, false advertising. And if this movie has no jump scares, if you see it before me, I have no problem watching this movie. It's just the way the movie was marketed in the trailer. That's the only reason
It's
why.
it's the best route for DC to go right
Right,
now, right?
right, right.
We've all know DC has taken a dump on almost every project, right?
Yeah,
So
but
now they're stepping into this realm of, okay, we're gonna start doing movies in this type of sense. R-rated movies, dark. We're not talking about
mm-hmm.
Jack Snyder. We're talking about actual dark
Is it Jack
movies.
Snyder?
And that's DC, man. That's DC.
All right, Abner.
Okay, so I know nothing about this character, at all, but I saw the trailer, and that trailer looks freaking epic, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love horror as well. I don't watch him as much as I probably should, but I love it. Um, but just one thing that I noticed, and it was a short trailer, but one thing I noticed was that the body makeup and special effects look very realistic, which I
Yeah.
love in a movie. I don't like movies that have like overly CGI'd, like the monkey and Michael that looked very CGI'd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that type of stuff, it's kind of a turn off. But for this movie, like that trailer, bro, that even if you know nothing about DC, even if you don't care about comic books, I feel like as a general horror member or fan, or like even as a general movie fan, you see a trailer like that and you're like, oh my God, like
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be epic. So I'm looking forward to watching that.
And I gotta say, as a huge fan of Marvel growing up, less of a DC fan, lately Marvel's been going their ups and downs, mostly downs.
Hmm.
And DC, they've noticed that, and there I think that they know that this is their moment to rise. And before Doomsday in December from Marvel, I think that right now I'm slowly noticing DC's change and not flipping the switch, but I'm noticing more of their content and I'm seeing more better, more serious tone. And I'm noticing what James Gunn is doing on that side. And he notices how mid it has been in the DCEU. So I think he notices how because listen, Thunderbolts I think got around $400 in the box office, $400 million in the box office. The best, whatever the best DCEU movie was, that movie got the same amount as Thunderbolts. That's what I heard in the podcast. Okay, it's been that mid of a slate for DCEU that I think DCU with James Gunn might be a lot better of a universe, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing what this movie is about. And again, body horror films, I don't mind it. The way this movie was advertised, it was the issue for me. But I am gonna see this movie. I believe the actor Tom Reese Harris is the best option for this because he looks incredible. But again, this is only a teaser. I want to see the full trailer, maybe some clips, or until the movie comes out. I don't know much about this character at all, but I'm looking forward to seeing a body horror film, let alone by DC Studios, which is crazy to even say. But guys, any last thoughts on the Clayface teaser trailer that we got? It looks amazing.
Give us the Red Band trailer next.
Yes,
The hard R
please. Let's do it. Yes. All right, guys. With that down, nice topic we got, and we'll start with Josh first if you're ready for it. You know, it's almost summertime, the best time of the year. I mean, it's better movies ahead of the year. And so, Josh, give us your personal top 5 movies of the summer, and we'll start with 5.
All right. I'm going to adjust my Odyssey hat. Spoiler, that's not on the list. So,
wow.
Number 5, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm just going to say horror movies in general as my number 5. There's a lot of really interesting horror movies coming out this summer. Just to name a handful, next month we have Hokum with Adam Scott. That's Damian McCarthy. I'm really excited for that. Obsession with the guy that just got signed on to do the Texas Chainsaw remake. We also have Evil Dead Burn. We got to see I watched it. Jeremy was looking away. We got to see a little clip at CinemaCon.
Why, bro? Why? Come
on. In August, we got Eli Roth's Ice Cream Man, and there's something else coming out in August, but I can't remember. But there's a good amount. I can't remember. Anyways, but yeah, there's a lot of really, really interesting horror movies coming out. So I'm just going to group them all together and say that's my number 5. Number 4,
okay, wow.
I'm going to go with Scary Movie, or technically Scary Movie 6. I think having seen, I don't know if you guys watched Naked Gun with Liam Neeson last year. That movie was hilarious, and I think we need a good comedy in theaters. And I love the Wayans brothers scary movies. Scary Movie 3 was pretty good, but then they got pretty crappy after that. So to see them coming back, and you got a lot of the original cast, I could just go for an easy 90-minute laugh out loud raunchy comedy. So give me that. I'll be there. That's my number 4. Number 3, I'm gonna go with The End of Oak Street. This is David Robert Mitchell. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. He did It Follows, which is actually one of my favorite horror movies. And then he did this very obscure A24 movie called Under the Silver Lake with Andrew Garfield. It's a very odd movie, but I love that quirky kind of stuff. This looks definitely different. This kind of has that like Steven Spielberg Amblin feel to it. If you've seen the trailer, there's like dinosaurs, and it looks like there might be a bit more like family friendly maybe, or I could be wrong, could be dark. It's produced by J.J. Abrams, so there is that kind of mystery to it, which I do love. But I'm a big fan of the filmmaker, and I love the kind of unknown of what this movie's going to be. It comes out in August. So bet your butt I'll be there opening day. Number 2, I'm going to go with Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg. This is a movie that I was excited when I saw that first trailer. And then when I heard Spielberg talk about it at CinemaCon, I got even more excited. He showed us a bit more. I loved the footage that we saw. Speaking of mystery, I think this movie is also like one of those what the hell is going on kind of movies that has me completely intrigued. I'm fascinated by the whole like kind of Roswell alien abduction, what is going on, Area 51 kind of stuff. So I think this movie's going to tap into that a bit. It's got great leads, Josh O'Connor, Emily Blunt. So my only downside to that is, speaking of bad CGI, there's some weird looking like deer in the trailer. So hopefully it's not too, if they got the aliens, hopefully they don't look too Kingdom of the Crystal Skull like. But yeah, I'll put that as number 2. And number 1, I'm gonna go with, probably not a big surprise, I'm gonna go with my boy Spider-Man here.
Big surprise to me.
I mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Tom Holland ones. I loved the last one. What was it? No Way Home.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to see where they go with this. I also think it's gonna be an important movie for Marvel, because this is it until Doomsday, and I feel like they gotta put something in here to give us a little bit, or else I feel like we're just going into Doomsday with those trailers. But I feel like we might be a little cold a bit. So, but I'll take Spider-Man all day long. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully he gets MJ back in the end.
If we move on, I gotta mention that Kevin Feige and I was there with you. They came on stage right before they had the trailer, and they announced that when they released the Endgame movie again in September, they're gonna add a post-credit scene that will lead to Doomsday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
but can you count on people showing up for Endgame though back in the theaters for a re-release?
Listen, no, but
important info.
Listen, so as you're giving us your list, I read a tweet saying that Joe Russo himself said that the Endgame post-credit scene is critical to the plot of Doomsday. So I believe because of that, people will be seated in theaters for Endgame. And come on, the movie itself is peak cinema. So if the movie itself, with no changes, comes out theaters, I'll see it again. I don't care. But the fact that the post-credit scene is critical for the plot of Doomsday, his words, I gotta watch it for sure now.
How do you feel?
I think it's kind of a marketing ploy.
It could be, but the fact that he said it, they have never usually they never let us down whenever they make a Marvel film, and the fact that they're in a post-credit scene, I might know what it is. I could be wrong for sure, but if it is that's gonna be a bridge, so we won't get lost. Like you said.
Sorry, do you guys think that it's a good decision to put one of Marvel's biggest moments this year on the back end of a re-release?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. It seems like that. I'm sure that scene could get posted on YouTube before Doomsday comes out if people didn't see the re-release. But to me, that just sounds like, hey, go see our re-release in theaters with Infinity Vision.
If anything, it's gonna be super small, maybe some kind of teaser where I don't think it's gonna be major.
I mean, who knows? The scene could be just Doom coming in the room with Steve Rogers and Peggy or something.
It'll definitely be something really small. Bro.
All right, Dewey, I'm sorry. Go for
it. Okay, so we're starting at 5.
Yeah.
Well, 5, I'm torn between 2. Holcomb, and Scary Movie. I'm not too much of a scary movie guy no more. I love the Wayne Bros, but it's just a campy comedy. It doesn't really get to me like that. So yeah, I'll have those battle at the 5 spot. Number 4 is Mandalorian and Grogu. As a Star Wars maniac, I love Star Wars. I'm not too excited for this movie in the sense of the series it's really good, but it's not something that I'm gonna go to a premiere for, or it's not something that I would go first week. It's it's not really appealing to me. I don't really care about bounty hunters in Star Wars. I am all about lightsaber action. So that takes number 4. Number 3 is going to be surprising to a lot of people, but it's going to be Devil Wears Prada 2.
Not really.
The reason why I go with Devil Wears Prada 2 is because I love the first movie. I'm big into fashion. Love Anne Hathaway as well. So that just that duo in the first movie, it was just really great. And I just want to see what they do for the second one. So yeah, that's taking number 3. Number 2 is gonna have to be one of my childhood favorites, Toy Story. Toy Story 5 coming out, and man, I love the route they're taking because they're now bringing in electronical
Mm-hmm.
toys, you know what I mean? Like the iPads and, things of that nature. And, I grew up in the analog era and now it's the digital era, I believe, or it's the AI
Yeah.
era, one of them. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna get a good laugh out of that as well because we're gonna see, the old toys fight with
Mm-hmm.
the new ones that, the kids nowadays are turn into. So that's gonna be a good one. And at number one, it gotta be Spider-Man. I'm so ready. I'm so piped up for Doomsday. I really want to see um where they go with Spider-Man in this one. Um there's a lot. I don't want to explain too much. I am a comic book
No,
nerd, so I don't
Yeah.
want to give out any like spoilers in the sense of how the story is going. I just can't wait for it, and I hope it exceeds my expectations.
All right, Abner.
okay. Number five, I'm gonna. To me, it's a tie between Moana and Scary Movie. For number five, Scary Movie, I'm looking forward to because I haven't seen that type of film in theaters in a while. Like that kind of comedy where it's like poking fun at pop culture. I haven't seen that in a while. And Moana, I mean, I love the animated series, like the animated movie. Um, from what I see in the trailers, not looking too good. I just want to see if it's gonna be a good movie or a not movie or a bad movie. That's kind of what I'm going there to see. For number four, I'm gonna pick Disclosure Day. Uh,
Mm.
God, that trailer was amazing. Like that trailer was amazing. Knowing,
Completely forgot about that.
yeah,
Oh.
knowing who the cast is and like the people behind it. Knowing that Emily Blunt is in it, Coleman Domingo, and obviously the
Yeah.
director Steven Spielberg, like, and just the trailer itself hooked me into the whole story of it. For number three, I'm gonna go with Toy Story 5 as well. I love the new concept. I think it's one of the smartest ideas that Pixar has had in a while, other than Inside Out. Um, I love the fact that they're making like the iPad the villain of the story. Um, and it's I mean it's what you want from a kids cartoon movie,
Yeah.
and hopefully it connects. I think it's gonna serve to connect both the old audience, which is like us, like people our age who grew up watching it, and then the new audience, like the little kids that might go to see it just because their parents saw it or they've seen it around. For number two, I'm actually gonna pick Supergirl. I love Superman the movie itself, like the new one that came out. I thought it was a breath of fresh air to have, a fun type of Superman who doesn't take himself too seriously, but yet is still very powerful. I love the colors in it. I love the casting in that movie. I mean, I bought the Blu-ray to own it. That's how good, how much I love that movie. And I really love the casting for Supergirl. Um, I think Millie Alcock, she was in Game of Thrones, like
Yeah.
the new Game of Thrones, and I hate that they took her off of it because of aging. But she was an amazing actress in that show, and even in those few seconds after Superman, she seems like she embodies that character very well. And of course, I'm gonna pick Spider-Man: Brand New Day for number one. Like that's
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
so. Those are my top five.
All right. On my end, I'm only saying this as five. By the way, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. So at five, only because I met the actress at an airport here in Miami after CinemaCon, Masters of the Universe is my number five. I love a movie that has this like open world vibe, like Hogwarts and Harry Potter. The CGI looks amazing. Skeletor looks incredible, and the voice by Jared Leto is unrecognizable. I think that both Nicholas Galitzine, Camila Mendes, even Idris Elba, the cast is pretty stacked. I never saw the cartoon growing up with the action figures. Never had, never saw it. So seeing this blind in my first time in my entire life, I hope it's good. But again, mainly the open world is a little bit. It sold me. That's coming out on June 5th. At 4, give me Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg and Coleman Domingo came on stage, interviewed each other. Coleman Domingo interviewed Steven Spielberg for about 15 minutes. They gave us extra footage from the movie. We saw an alien in the movie, so now I believe in aliens for sure. That movie is stacked, like Josh said, Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Coleman Domingo, and like I said, I hope this film has me believing in UFOs, because back before I didn't, but now I do, because that's incredible CGI. That comes out, I believe, in the summer. I've actually bookmarked June 12th. So 4 is that. 3 is Supergirl. I originally didn't even have this on my list because it gives me too much vibes of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I don't like vibes from another movie. And this kind, I don't like vibes. I don't like to see vibes from a different movie in another one, if that makes sense. And I was hoping for this to be like the casting, the costume design, the CGI, the settings. They all give me too much Guardians of the Galaxy, and we all know James Gunn's behind this as well. But I'm still putting hope for Jason Momoa's Lobo. I'm looking forward to watching him the most, followed by Emilia Clarke's Supergirl. They gave us like a 15-minute sequence from the movie that did bring my hype a little bit higher, but not as high to see it multiple times. So Supergirl is my number 3. That I believe is coming out in July, I think. June 26th. I'm sorry, June 26th. At 2, guys, like Josh has in his home, I have here 2. I have Spider-Man. Bernadette. They gave us a scene from the movie. It's not a spoiler, big spoiler, but they gave us a whole scene between Tom Holland entering some house and watching Zendaya moving on, breaking his heart and our hearts. Again, more it was basically to show us where he is emotionally in his character. So that was beautiful. And yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, The Punisher. Who knows who else could be in this movie? And who knows? The Hand, of course, the ninjas, and the music, the score, everything about this. Also, the organic webbing. I'm looking forward to seeing all that. City Sync, Hulk, great cast. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes into Doomsday, the post-credit scene maybe. But Spider-Man is my number 2. Of course, 1 is probably the most stacked movie cast I've seen in my entire life. I have the hat for it here too. I'm not wearing it. The Odyssey. The Odyssey, guys, besides the cast, it's based off this most famous poem in the entire world I've read in middle school or high school. Just seeing the director, Christopher Nolan, he came on stage and he joked around saying he would invite the cast on stage, but they would break down the floor. They're just that stacked. Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Zendaya, John Berto, so many more A-listers even. I hope that the cast doesn't overshadow the movie, if that makes sense. And they show us the whole 5-6 minute clip of the whole Trojan horse moment that you guys saw in theaters too. They gave us that clip, a new trailer for it over there. And yeah, I mean, the Odyssey to me is probably the biggest, most stacked movie cast for a movie ever. And I hope that Christopher Nolan, I have no doubt he'll deliver 100%. The Odyssey is my number 1 film that comes out actually 2 weeks after Spider-Man, which is crazy to me. July 31st. That's my top 5 films. Guys, any last thoughts on our own top 5 movies? Any changes, any additions, or what's up?
Yeah, I'm gonna change my Moana and Scary Movie to the Odyssey. I forgot about the Odyssey.
Yeah,
You forgot about the Odyssey?
I'll take the Odyssey at number 5, man.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. You guys forget about the Odyssey?
I just hope it's not a burnout, man. I mean,
No,
Christopher
I know,
Nolan is
I know.
outstanding as a, but I just hope it's not a burnout.
You guys forgot? Wow.
I hope the like how you mentioned that the cast doesn't overshadow the story.
Right.
It's one of the greatest stories ever written, and now you're seeing Zendaya there, and like now you're seeing this big cast instead of getting into the story. I hope they do a good job. Christopher Nolan obviously is an amazing director, so
yeah,
you got it.
And
for Spider-Man,
yeah.
Wait, for Spider-Man, I'm praying that we get Ned as
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin.
I don't think
Please.
so. I don't think
If
so.
I don't know, it may happen because I've seen a lot of like these little videos of people nitpicking from the
Right,
previous movies,
right.
and he's wearing orange, and he mentioned his family's into magic and all this stuff that ties into Hobgoblin, right? So that might we don't know. That might be I don't know. I don't even know what to think right now, but please make it happen.
I was gonna wear this during my top five for the Odyssey at one. I forgot to. But yeah, I mean, I'm just shocked that no one even thought of the Odyssey, the biggest movie of the year, arguably of the summer. I mean, in the year. But
I want to say it's a really good time to be a film fan. I
oh,
mean,
100%.
like this summer's gonna be like back to back to back to back nights of the year.
I
Like
mean,
that's pretty cool, man.
I
We
mean,
haven't. Wow.
I mean, honestly, it's a great year to be a movie fan, but a really bad year to be a wallet.
Well, not
I
even.
think I think moving forward is gonna be like that. I think, the lineup
Yeah,
for 2027, maybe 2028 it's kind of deep. So
but I do have to give some love to Toy Story 5. Obviously, we grew up watching this franchise. I keep questioning if there should be more or not. I thought they were done after 3 or 4 most, but seeing the story for 5, and they gave us 2 clips from the movie over there, and they both do a great job at portraying how kids are nowadays with electronics, how they're showing how the toys are missing, the owners, and how they did a good job at showing the lily pad as the antagonist and the what and how it's gonna evolve during the movie. So it's not my top five, but I'm looking forward to Toy Story 5 for sure.
give me a Toy Story until Andy is like 80 years old. Give
until
me a
he's
Toy Story.
until he's 90. Until he's 90.
I'll take it, man.
All right, guys. Any last thoughts on our list before we move on?
Wait, did Andy already like become an adult, or was he in
I don't
college?
even know where he's at right
Yeah,
now.
he's already like from
In
the
college,
previous
maybe.
movie, he's already in college and
Yeah,
Oh, so
playing
they
with.
forward.
they
Yeah,
might he might give his toys to his kids at some point.
Kids, right. Right.
that'd be cool. But he's probably out there in college on his own electronics, having some fun. But
But the kid's
that
like, I don't want to play with this doll. I want to be on the iPad.
all
I think
right,
that's the route they're gonna go.
all right. With this topic down, it's time for the last topic of today. And Josh, we'll start with you. Our new segment, hashtag Now Watching. Josh, give us a movie or a show you just finished watching that you recommend to viewers.
I just started the Boys final season of The Boys, and it's been real fun. I think I think we're halfway through at this point.
Yeah.
If you like dark and funny superhero stuff, that is the show for you. I hope they finish strong. It's been a good final season so far. So yeah, I gotta go with The Boys season 5.
I think they have two left episodes, I think.
I think it's 4. They have 8 total, and I think they're
Oh,
4
really?
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we?
So it's hard to highlight one. So I'm just gonna give two,
Okay.
brief two, right? So the first one is gonna be the Mall series. The Mall series is owning it right now. Like that's exactly what we wanted to see from Darth Maul. Um, not the I don't even know how to explain it without trying to go into detail, but Maul is exceptional. Um, and the second one is going to have to be Invincible.
Yeah.
Invincible right now. If you guys know about Invincible, the last season, the last episode was outstanding. And you would have thought, okay, what's really gonna top that? Really, nothing can really top that. But right now, it's exceeded, and I can't wait for the new seasons actually. So yeah, those are the two shows that I'm actually like heavily involved in right now.
Abner.
Okay, so in terms of movies, I'm seeing Michael for the third time soon, Wednesday. And I also started this movie called Nuremberg, which is based on the Nuremberg trials after like the Nazis in World War II. I'm only like 20 minutes in, but man, the acting looks incredible. And when it comes to TV shows, I'm like on season 2 of Suits. I started like watching. And a new season just dropped. It's a Netflix show. It's called Running Point, which is kind of like a comedy about Genie and the LA Lakers. And yeah, it still delivers in season 2. Like I'm still laughing at every single moment. So
Yeah, that's a show I actually did not think I would love, knowing who's in the show. I'm watching it just for the main story. But Kit Hudson is actually really good in that show, and so is Brenda Song. They're
Yes.
both really good, and I can't wait for more. 'Cause I want more, and it's a basketball show, so why not? I love sports. I love basketball. It's even better. I'm just sad that the show starting 5 is done. They had to cancel it.
Oh, the basketball show. Yeah.
Yeah, the NBA starting 5 show on Netflix, they had to cancel it because it was going too much into their personal lives. They didn't like it. But anyways, on my end, I just watched last night. A new Netflix film with Taron Egerton and Charlize Theron. I can share my screen real quick. It came out just yesterday. It's a movie I only recommend if you love action thrillers and if you don't mind watching a 3-star movie. This movie, guys, Taron Egerton, he plays a serial killer, and Charlize Theron plays this physically active climber. And I gotta say, if you watch it, there's one moment in the movie where you're like, "What the fuck am I watching?" Like it takes a whole different turn that you do not expect at all. I didn't expect it. It becomes a horror film at some point, which is stupid to me. And you guys know me. I'm someone who gives really good reviews and good ratings on almost any movie that I watch. This one is up there as one of the stupidest movies I've seen in my life. It's hard. I hate to say it, but I'm not sure what I was watching. At one point, it was one story, and then in the middle, it just flipped a whole different story. I don't know. It's hard to explain without spoiling it, but if you guys want to watch an action thriller, if you guys love Taron Egerton from Kingsman and Charlize Theron from, let's say, Atomic Blonde or Fast and the Furious franchise, and if you love action thrillers, go for it. It's only an hour and a half. It won't really kill you just to watch an hour and a half of your life go to waste like that. But tonight, actually, I'm watching a new Amazon movie called Balls Up, which is like a rated R comedy with Mark Wahlberg and I think Paul Walter Hauser, I think his name is. That's another dumb comedy movie. I'm not going to really talk about it because it's too rated R for this even. But yeah, I watched Apex last night. I only recommend it if you love wasting your time on an action thriller. But that's me. That's my side, guys.
I do recommend a movie.
Yeah, what's up?
I do recommend a movie. How to Make a Killing.
I saw that movie. Yeah.
That movie is so
yeah.
It's just great. It's just great. Like
I
if you
saw-
just want something to watch, bro,
Yeah.
get some popcorn, get some chips or whatever, and just kick back. It's a great movie.
I saw it with Malik or Abner. I don't remember. But I saw it with one of them. And that's with Glenn Powell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a movie. I didn't see a trailer for it either. I saw it once.
I saw it with you. I remember now.
That was with me? Okay. Is it both of us or just me? I don't remember. But
I have no idea if it was both, but I know you.
Yeah, that movie, I gotta say, it's pretty surprisingly funny. More funny than I thought. But Glenn Powell, he's in almost everything nowadays. Since Top Gun, he's been on fire. But anyways, guys, with that said, any last thoughts on any topics that we spoke about today?
Go watch Michael.
Yeah, I think we're seeing
watch Michael. Run that up. Run it up.
I think we're seeing it tomorrow, Abner.
I think I'm also.
We're seeing it tomorrow, Abner. I think Michael with me.
We are.
We spoke about it. Yeah, we spoke it yesterday. We talked about it.
Hey, I'm down, bro. 4th time. It is what it is.
Let's do it. Let's run it back. Do it, you too, if you want to go join us.
I got y'all. Tap in with y'all. Let y'all know.
All right, Josh. You were saying something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, rewatch Michael. I'm also interested in watching some of the documentaries about him that I've never seen before, just to get a little bit more backstory about his life. So check those documentaries out as well.
There's a good YouTube page called The Detail. They're very good with those documentaries for him. They go through his whole life.
All right, guys.
The channel's called The Detail.
All right, guys. So that said, I want to thank Josh for his podcast debut, Dewey and Abner for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us. Episode 8, season 2 is a wrap. Episode 9 will come out shortly within the next 2 weeks with more and better topics. With that said, guys, have a good weekend and we'll talk to you soon.
Do the same. Peace.
Have a good one, guys.